Rallies around him, goes on his own and scores a glorious goal!
Ruthless stuff for Bristol City.
Well, not many leave the Lions' den without a scratch, let alone emerge victorious. This man had other ideas, though. What a goal by Matty James, and what a result for Bristol City and their travelling fans last weekend. 4 points from 2 matches, the same as today's opponents, Birmingham City. The Blues buoyant under new ownership and several new players. But how will they deal with City's long throw specialist, Harry Cornick, back in the starting 11 today as Bristol City host Birmingham City in the Sky Bet Championship, live from Ashton Gate on Robbins TV. A warm welcome along to the programme. Delighted to say that I'm joined by Neil Swift, professional development phase coach, alongside me here today, live from Ashton Gate. Neil, great to see you. I just wonder how the good feeling from last weekend, you know, the wonderful result against Millwall, that 94th minute winner, has kind of spilled into the whole club and the feeling around the high performance centre.
Again, it's nice to be on the winning side of a last minute goal. Like I say, there's no comeback there. I think the boys will be buzzing from it, and they'll take that and keep that momentum going, hopefully into the Birmingham game now. So it should be good.
It's been a positive week for the club. If you missed the news yesterday, Lawrence Smith, the Bristol City women's head coach, signing a new 3-year contract, which is great news, having won the promotion last season, winning the championship, of course, the title very much for Bristol City, and looking forward to the WSL getting underway shortly. And then, of course, there was another last-minute victory that, Neil, you witnessed close up last night, 4-3 against Peterborough for the under-21s. Tell us about that.
Yeah, hard game. Again, we could have been out of sight and put the game to bed, but Peterborough came back and hit us with 10 men. But Big Duncan stepped up at the last minute and seen us through, which everyone, I think, was happy to see. You know, it was a bit of reward for Duncan as an individual, but collectively for the group. So it's good, very good.
Right, let's ask you about today. Birmingham City, the opponents. Nigel Pearson saying this week he wants them to be braver at home, the fullbacks to get forward. Just the one cross, I think, against Preston in that 1-1 draw. So is that what you're looking forward to seeing today? A bit more sort of up and at them, I guess, against Birmingham?
Yeah, as a club in general, we play on the front foot. So whether we're in possession or out of possession of the ball, we look to influence the opposition. Looking at today's lineup and the way we look to hurt Birmingham, wide areas are going to be key to us. So whether that's the full-backs or the wide strikers utilising those wide areas. It'd be nice to get a nice strong performance at home. The Millwall game can carry over, and like I say, momentum in football and sport generally is everything. So as long as we can get everyone singing off the same hymn sheet, we should have a positive outcome.
Good stuff. Let's see how the teams line up then ahead of today's Sky Bet Championship match between Bristol City and Birmingham City. Introduce you for the first time today to our commentator, Toby Osborne.
Let's start with the visitors then. John Eustace has named an unchanged side. Lukas Jukovic came off the bench to crash in a penalty deep into injury time last week in front of new joint owner Tom Brady. Their back four includes summer signings Buchanan and Laird, the latter joining from Manchester United in the summer, having been on loan in the Championship last season. Bielik and Sunjic hold down midfield, but beyond them there is real talent. Bakunia, Anderson and Dembele, who was a summer signing from the Cherries and scored on his Championship debut in the draw to Swansea, and then beyond them it is Scott Hogan. The bench includes exciting Japanese summer signing Koji Miyoshi. As for the Reds, rather like the Blues, they won deep into injury time at the Den. Scenes in the away end. 2 changes for Nigel Pearson. Mark Sykes and Naki Wells are taken out of the 11 and replaced by Cornick and Mehmeti. A show of confidence from the manager for the two who joined last January. Behind that front three, that includes Bell, and you'll find Roberts, Williams and match winner Matty James. And let's hope Dickey and Viner continue their imperious partnership between Pring and Tanner. And then on the bench, another spot for Yeboah and young Jamie Knight-Labelle. Right, let's hear from the gaffer on that positive start to the campaign.
Nigel, a few changes, including a first start in the league for Anis Mehmeti. Yeah. He hasn't had many starts since he's been here. What will he be hoping to prove today?
That his selection is warranted. Look, he's had a really good pre-season for us. He's worked exceptionally hard since he's been here, and I think in the games that we've played so far, his involvement has been pretty positive. And look, this season it's about trying to keep everybody engaged, and you know, we have options in forward positions, and sometimes it's just good to freshen things up. So, you know, we talk a lot about the starting 11, but then whoever finishes as game 2, it's going to be really important. So whoever comes off the bench to influence the game is as important as who starts. So in my head, I don't really think of it like that. He's got an opportunity. Belly will go through the middle, and it just means that that's how we are today.
Somebody who continues to be influential is Harry Cornick. How important is he becoming to this team?
Well, look, Harry and Sykesy have been again vying for a similar position. Sykesy's had a fitness test and he's okay, so he's on the bench. But again, when you've got players who are pushing each other for the starting position, I just quite like the fact that it keeps them on their toes without in the right way. It makes sure that their competition is fierce, but they're also very supportive of each other. So Harry Cornick is, I think last season, he was finding his way into how we play. This year he's much fitter and leaner again, and I think he's had a good start to the season.
You stayed very true to how you wanted to play at Millwall.
Yeah.
Back here at home, how kind of, is that more tricky, or is that just?
No, not tricky in the sense that if we approach the game with a positive mentality and basically take the game to Birmingham, then that's what I want us to do. I don't want us to fear anybody. I want us to be respectful of who we play against, but I want us always to be thinking about how we win the game, and that's really the bottom line. And so to do that, you need a bit of bravery, and bravery is up there as much as the physical side of it. And so that's just how I see it. We've got a squad of players at the moment who I think feel confident in themselves, but it's always about performing on the day, and let's hope we do it today.
Nigel Pearson, the Bristol City head coach, in conversation with Dave Barton. I'm alongside Neil Swift. Neil, you heard the manager's thoughts there. 2 changes, Sam Bell through the middle, Harry Cornick comes back into the side, and a first league start for Anis Mehmeti of the new campaign. What do you make of what he had to say?
Well, again, he's set everything. He's set a stall out for what he wants from the squad and his players that he's selected. Again, nobody's given a right to start, so everyone's getting an opportunity. And as we tell the lads coming through the academy, once you get in the first team, you've got to grasp that opportunity. So hopefully the boys respond to that, and that gives a little bit of extra, drive to actually succeed. And by the sounds of it, like I say, we're in a good place with the back of the Millwall game, unbeaten from the start of the season, so it's good, it's positive.
When he says in the week about being braver at home and turning Ashton Gate into more of a cauldron and getting the fans behind them and just making it an intimidating place to come, how does that look as a coach? How do you impact bravery on a set of players when there's all that pressure, and obviously you've got an opposition to cater for as well, and Birmingham are very dangerous?
Like I say, first and foremost, you've got to win the game. But if you haven't got that bravery installed in you, you're never going to try and take what you learn on the training field onto the playing field. So unless you actually are willing to take that risk and know that there's a risk reward, then it's down to decision making. is at the right decision at that right time. And it's that bravery of making those decisions. Yeah, you're going to get it wrong. Managers get it wrong, coaches get it wrong, players get it wrong. But there's got to be that environment that allows them to make that gamble, knowing that a positive will come out of it. Either they learn from it or they succeed from it. And it's as long as we say to the boys, don't make the same mistake twice. That's all you can ask of them. But you've got to be brave to make their decisions.
Well, Neil, let's have a look back at some of the important clips from last weekend's victory against Millwall. That 94th minute winner for Matty James, obviously the highlight, and great scenes in the away end. But it was noticeable, we'll look at them out and in possession, Bristol City last week, that they did seem to have that bravery and that sort of spring in their step, and Zach Viner was sort of central to it, really.
Yeah, it's like you say, the centre-backs should, in theory, get a little bit more time on the ball. This is why the modern-day centre-back has got to be a ball player, because 9 times out of 10, they're your overload. They're always going to have that little bit of space. You look at Zach in here, he's got time to pick up a pass and execute it. Now, Zach is a great technician, and the proof's in the pudding there for us there.
He's taken 3 or 4 players out of the game, hasn't he, with those sort of passes?
And this is what we look for. If you're going to break lines, can you break lines and take out 2 or 3 players at any time? Then it's going to give you a numerical advantage further up the field.
Zach Viner started the season brilliantly, had a great season last year, of course, as well. Look forward to seeing him later on. What about out of possession? What are the fundamentals throughout the club and obviously in the first team as well?
This is a really good clip. This is what we're trying to get the boys to do. Everybody out of possession is working to win that ball back, because if you win the ball back and the opposition are expansive, then you can get at them. So instead of pressing as an individual, you've got to press as units. So you've got to be in tune with your players that's within your unit. You can't be a lone wolf going on your own. You've got to do it with discipline, basically. And I thought we got the discipline really well. If we didn't win the first ball, we'd win the second ball, and then we retain possession better. So the transition is massive. It's a massive part of the game. If you get that transition right, you can stay on the ball better. And I think we actually dominated Millwall, I thought. You
see the organisation here, Millwall not able to get anywhere with it, really, forced into a slightly hasty ball forward.
But they're patient now. Instead of just running at them and hoping to get something, they've actually waited for that ball, a little bit of a slower pass. That's the trigger. Then when one goes, everybody's jumping on.
I was going to say, who are the triggers?
Yeah.
Do they have sort of set roles?
Yeah, you will. You'll get a trigger, and like say if it's a slow ball, a bouncing ball, one will initiate it, but everyone's got to be attuned to that one initiating it. Then everyone's got to step onto their man, and then that's basically how you get your successful press. But if there's one chink in it and it breaks down, that's where that one avenue of getting out of jail is, and that's where you can be undone. So you must be so switched on.
Setting traps all over the field. So let's see the big moment there. Matty James, I think over 50 league appearances since his last goal. He was worth the wait.
Oh, like I said, I never knew Harry had this in his locker with his delivery of the throw. But again, Matty's on the penalty spot, looking at second phase. Like I say, he's brave enough to execute it, and it comes off. If he never had the bravery to try it, these sort of things don't happen. So, superb.
And the players get drawn to the ball, don't they, at the near post? So if you can find some space in behind, he just loses his man there, the number 8. And
yeah, because
from a defensive point of view, what are you?
Well, the Millwall boys are, at the end of the day, it's men that score goals, not spaces. So he's dropped in thinking that the ball's going to drop, but he's left the man. But it's the man who's going to score the goal. So yeah, I'm glad he did as well.
Neil, great insights so far. We've got Omar Taylor-Clark coming up live in the studio after the break ahead of Bristol City against Birmingham City in the Sky Bet Championship. Stay with us.
Hi, it's Matt. I am the fundraising coordinator here at Bristol City Robbins Foundation, and in just under 2 weeks we have a Robbins Foundation team of 40 people that are going to be taking on the world's toughest obstacle course, Tough Mudder. We're going to be running over 15 kilometres and tackling over 30 obstacles, all to raise money for 6 of our incredible community projects at the Robbins Foundation. These projects include our Pan-Disability football sessions, Robbins Talk, which is our mental health support programme, Bristol City Cerebral Palsy FC, Bristol City Down Syndrome FC, our education programme, and last but not least, our amazing Women and Girls project and the free female fitness sessions. We've currently raised £4,000 and need your help to raise the final £2,000 to help us reach our £6,000 fundraising target. Please go to the Robbins Foundation website to find out more and donate to support your local community. Thank you for supporting the Robbins Foundation.
Welcome back to Robbins TV. Bristol City against Birmingham City, live from Ashton Gate, coming your way very soon indeed. Looking forward to this one. City making a couple of changes to the side that got that last gasp winner at Millwall last time out. Delighted to say that alongside me and Neil Swift is young midfielder Omar Taylor-Clark. Omar, great to have you with us. Honestly, it really is. I mean, you played almost a full 90 yesterday in that 4-3 victory over Peterborough that we mentioned. Firstly, tell me a bit about that game. I mean, it was a cup game and another last-minute winner, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was an important game for us. Wanted to start off the Premier League Cup well, get 3 points. So, yeah, it was a tough game. I think we made it quite hard for ourselves because we had the opportunities to put the game to bed early. But then, yeah, great last-minute winner feeling, and obviously everyone was buzzing to get 3 points and start off the cup like in a good position.
Take fans inside the high performance centre, around the dressing rooms, you know, around the gym and stuff like that. Is it buzzing at the moment? There's a lot of music, a lot of jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a good atmosphere around because everyone's like, all age groups are doing well and they're all winning games, so everything's well and everyone's happy at the moment.
Neil, tell me about Omar. You don't have to embarrass him, just say you've been working with him a few years now and got to know him on and off the field.
Goodness me, how many years is it now? Omar? But a fair few, isn't it?
Yeah,
so yeah, Omar, he's had to work hard, and we've had some tough discussions, haven't we, Omar? Yeah. But like you say, he takes on board what's asked of him. He's got an engine, he wants to work, he wants to succeed, and we just give him opportunities to learn from. And hopefully Omar takes this, which he is. Like you say, he's progressed now into he's had his debut. So he's played Man City, isn't it? So he's proof's in the pudding for Omar as well. You work hard, rewards there, the pathway's there. So it's not just for Omar, but there's for everybody. And hopefully Omar's just one of many that's going to come through.
I think the proof's in the signed frame shirt, isn't it, Omar? Because you've got Manuel Akanji's shirt up on your wall.
Yep, at home, yeah.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Considering you set yourself a target last season of just getting into the first team picture, to make 9 first team appearances, what did that mean to you and your family?
Yeah, that's meant like everything to me. Obviously, that's been a dream of mine, is to make my debut and stuff like that, and to go on and play and then make my start was like just a dream come true, and like it just meant a lot to me. Yeah. You
joined the club midway through the under-13 phase. You previously were with Cardiff, born in Newport, proud Welshman, proud Welsh family, despite being a Man United fan.
Yeah, I know.
But tell me about your upbringing. I believe your mum and dad have been obviously a huge support for you.
Yeah, definitely. My mum and dad's been like everything, helping me, taking me away, like to Cardiff and trips to Bristol, everything. So yeah, they've been a massive part of my career, and obviously they helped me stay grounded and stuff like that. So when I came and like started playing for Bristol City, and then when I made my debut, they told me to like stay grounded and just keep working hard and like don't let anything get to your head. So I think they've been a huge part of my journey so far, and I'm sure they'll be a part of it to go on.
What some football fans might not know is your sort of second family. For a lot of young footballers, they get put in digs, as it's called, so host families who get linked up with the club and assigned young players. And you spent, was it a year with your host family?
I spent 2 years with my host family, yeah.
And how important have they been and continue to be? Because I think they still come to your games.
Yeah, no, they were great, my host family. They looked after me really well, and I can't thank them enough as well.
What are they called?
Janice and Phil.
Lovely.
Yeah, they looked after me really well. So I'm really thankful for them. And it was good living there. And yeah, it was really good.
Neil, how important is that in helping young players on and off the field?
Well, it's like Omar's left home, so you know they've got to be in an environment that they're comfortable in, that they're safe in, and we know that they're getting looked after to the way that they should be accustomed to be optimum performance. So yeah, from all the way through, the welfare of the player is evident, and the club do actually take a big interest in making sure everybody is looked after well. So it's a massive positive.
Is Omar the first Bristol City player to have Rivaldo as a middle name?
It's the first one I know of, yeah. And it's a big ask as well, isn't it?
It is a big one. It is a big ask.
That was your dad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that conversation between your mum and your dad.
I know, me too. Me too. He just said he liked the player, and he thought somehow he snuck her in there as a middle name. I know.
Would you carry it on when you know in later years have children? Would you maybe
pass it on the name?
Yeah.
Maybe, potentially. We'll see. We'll see if I live up to the name first.
Well, you've certainly made a great start. I mean, we mentioned the Manchester City game, but it was, I think, against Birmingham you were on the bench for the first time in the Championship. You played in the FA Cup away at Swansea, and then you get your first start at the Liberty Stadium, in a Wales West Country derby. Obviously, I've touched on the fact you're a proud Welshman. So, talk us through that morning of that game, when presumably you knew you were playing maybe the day before.
Yeah, so I found out I was starting the day before in a meeting, and I was shocked, and I was really excited, and then morning just preparation, right, stuff like that. And then before we got out there in the change room, everyone just telling me play my game, and everyone around me just keeping me calm and stuff, and it was really good. Everyone was helping me get through it at the start, and I was just excited to get out there and show what I could do.
Bit of a culture shift from, you were at Yate Town at the start of last season. What was that like? They always say those loan spells are good. You can hear all the fans. Yeah. You can ride the challenges, and it proves that you can make it. Yeah,
definitely. The Yate loan spell benefited a lot. I got used to men's football and different how to adapt to different games and stuff like that. Not all games were like what I was used to. It was a lot in the air where I had to deal with. I had to learn to use my body better. So when I came back, I felt that was a good benefit for me, and I had that improvement in that side of my game when I came back from the Yate loan. So yeah, I think that was a very good loan for me.
The progression's been great, Neil, in Omar, on and off the field by the sounds of it. What does he need to do now to go to that next level, I guess, and become an established player around the first team?
It's consistency. That's the difference when you get a season pro. They're consistent. They're 7 out of 10 every game, aren't they? And that's we put pressure on Omar for that. He's got his target. He's got IDPs that he's got to work on, that he's got to be doing. And if he doesn't do it, he falls behind, and then you get moaned at. Yeah. But he knows that the moaning is for him. If the day and hour that you stop moaning at him or asking questions of him, that's when you got to worry. But he's, to his credit, he works hard, don't you, Omar? Mm-hmm. I don't know if he enjoys it all the time, but yeah, he does. He does work hard, and he's just got to keep going, improving, never be happy with what you've achieved. Always try and push on to the next level. So it's maybe Premier League football. That's what he might be. After international football, he's got to chase that dream and fail trying. Mm-hmm.
Omar, we wish you all the success in the world. Thanks ever so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. So let's hope that Bristol City make it 3 more points today against Birmingham City. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, it's time to say goodbye. Overseas viewers can buy a pass.